In a world where appearances often seem to define our worth, there is a deeper story unfolding beneath the surface of our bodies. The human body, especially the female form, carries the essence of who we are in ways that transcend mere physical appearance. Far more than just a vessel or a shell, it is a complex, living tapestry woven with the threads of our experiences, growth, struggles, and resilience. Our bodies do not merely exist to fulfill society's narrow standards of beauty or desirability. They carry within them the full weight of our journeys, the scars of our battles, and the triumphs of our personal growth. In this essay, we will explore how our bodies are not just passive vessels for our minds and spirits, but living archives that tell the stories of our lives in their most authentic form. The pressure to conform. From a young age, many individuals, especially women, are taught that their bodies must meet certain standards. We are bombarded with images of flawless figures in the media, from advertisements to Hollywood films, all presenting a narrow and often unrealistic portrayal of beauty. Whether it's the size of a woman's hips, the curve of her waist, or the symmetry of her face. Society is quick to impose these idealized measurements as the standard by which all others should be judged. There is little room for nuance, diversity, or understanding that each individual's body is unique, shaped by her life experiences, genetics, and cultural context. The pressure to fit into these idealized versions of beauty often leads to dissatisfaction and self-doubt. We are taught to focus on certain areas of our bodies, from slimming down to conform to a specific size to shaping certain curves to match the ever-changing trends of fashion. But this obsession with physical appearance often neglects the incredible complexity of the human form and the deeper stories it holds. The beauty of a person cannot and should not be reduced to just how closely their body aligns with a socially constructed idea of beauty. Instead, we must shift our focus to the richness and depth of each individual's lived experience and how it is reflected in their bodies. The body as a tapestry of experiences. Every body tells a story, stories of growth, resilience, struggle, and triumph. For women, the body often reflects not only personal experiences, but also the societal pressures and cultural expectations that they face. Think about how a woman's body changes over time. The growth spurt in adolescence, the curves of womanhood, the beauty of motherhood, and the natural shifts that come with age. These physical changes are not just signs of growing older. They are markers of wisdom, strength, and resilience. Each wrinkle, each stretch mark, each change in shape is a testament to the life she has lived, the challenges she has faced, and the journeys she has embarked upon. The female body, in particular, is often a battlefield of societal expectations. It is subjected to scrutiny, criticism, and unsolicited opinions. Yet, the body's true value lies in its ability to endure and adapt. It is an incredible vessel that has the ability to heal, transform, and carry a person through different stages of life. Rather than viewing the body as something to be ashamed of, we must begin to appreciate it for what it is, a reflection of all that we have been through, all that we have learned, and all that we have overcome. Society's misconceptions of the female form. Throughout history, women's bodies have been subject to myths, stereotypes, and misconceptions. From the ancient Greeks to modern-day media, the female form has often been romanticized or reduced to a set of attributes that are deemed desirable or beautiful. These perceptions, while rooted in cultural norms and social expectations, fail to capture the true essence of a woman's body. The body is not merely an object to be looked at or admired. It is an active participant in shaping who we are. For instance, take the commonly idealized shape of the female body. Society often places an inordinate amount of focus on the hips, emphasizing the desirability of certain curves or proportions. From the hourglass figure to the obsession with thinness, these standards leave little room for the natural variation found in the female body. The truth, however, is that the shape and size of a woman's hips, like every other aspect of her body, are influenced by a range of factors, including genetics, diet, lifestyle, and even the experiences she has lived through. The shape of the hips is just one example of how society places undue emphasis on physical attributes that hold little relevance to a person's worth or femininity. It's crucial to remember that these superficial markers do not define a woman's true beauty or her sense of self-worth. Instead, they are just fleeting characteristics that fail to capture the full depth of a person's being. A deeper understanding, genetics, environment, and life experiences. When we take a closer look at the body, particularly the female body, we begin to uncover a far more intricate and rich story, one that is influenced by genetics, environment, and life experiences. Let's take the hips again as an example. The shape, size, and prominence of a woman's hips are not just products of diet or exercise. They are deeply influenced by genetics, which dictate how the body distributes fat and builds muscle. These genetic factors, combined with the way a woman lives her life, the foods she consumes, the way she moves, and the physical activities she engages in, contribute to the distinctiveness of her form. As we age, our bodies undergo natural changes. For women, these changes can include hormonal fluctuations, childbearing, and menopause, all of which have physical effects. But these changes are not something to be feared or avoided. They are part of the human experience. The body's ability to adapt and transform throughout life is one of its most remarkable qualities. Instead of viewing these changes as flaws or imperfections, we should learn to embrace them as symbols of the strength, endurance, and growth that they represent. Furthermore, the environment in which a person grows up plays a significant role in shaping the body. Cultural practices, family traditions, and social norms all contribute to the way we view and treat our bodies. For example, a woman raised in a community that values strength and athleticism may develop a different relationship with her body than one raised in a community that values beauty and thinness above all else. In this way, the body becomes a reflection of the world in which it was shaped. The power of self-acceptance. At the core of understanding our bodies is the power of self-acceptance. When we learn to accept and love our bodies for what they are, unique, resilient, and full of stories, we free ourselves from the shackles of societal expectations. This process of self-acceptance is not easy. It requires us to confront the ways in which we have been conditioned to view our bodies as objects to be fixed or improved. It calls for us to reject the superficial standards of beauty that are perpetuated by the media and instead embrace the beauty that comes from within. Self-acceptance is not about perfection. It is about recognizing and honoring the body's journey. It's about understanding that each mark, each curve, and each change tells a story. A woman's body, regardless of its shape or size, is a masterpiece of strength, resilience, and beauty. It is the sum of all her experiences, her joys, her hardships, and her growth. And when we learn to embrace our bodies with love and compassion, we unlock the full potential of self-worth that resides within us. Conclusion: the true value of the female body. The female body, and indeed any body, is so much more than what the eye can see. It is a living testament to the experiences, struggles, triumphs, and lessons learned over a lifetime. To reduce a woman's worth to the size of her hips, the shape of her waist, or the appearance of her skin is to ignore the profound complexity of her being. The true beauty of the body lies not in its conformity to societal standards, but in its unique reflection of a person's inner world. When we shift our perspective and learn to appreciate our bodies for what they truly are, living, breathing archives of our experiences, we begin to cultivate a deeper sense of self-acceptance. We begin to understand that our bodies are not just vessels for appearance, but powerful symbols of our journey through life. And in this recognition, we can find the true beauty of our existence, one that is not defined by narrow ideals, but by the richness and depth of the lives we have lived. As we continue to evolve as individuals, it is important to remember that our bodies are not merely objects to be judged or fixed. They are beautiful, powerful reflections of who we are and all we have become. So let us celebrate our bodies with all their unique imperfections as the incredible works of art that they truly are. The true essence of a woman's body. Beyond surface-level judgments. There's a common misconception that a woman's worth is intricately tied to the size or shape of her physical features, her hips, her waist, or her figure. This surface-level evaluation reduces an individual to a mere physical object, while the true essence of a woman cannot be encapsulated by any such superficial markers. The reality is much deeper, much richer, and far more complex than what meets the eye. It is crucial to understand that the female body, much like her inner life, is influenced by a multitude of factors. These include genetics, the passage of time, the changes she undergoes as she ages, and the multitude of life experiences she navigates, each leaving an imprint on her physical form. Her true worth is not determined by the size or shape of her body, but by the incredible inner strength, resilience, and grace that she demonstrates throughout her journey. The unseen strength of the female body. The female body is, in many ways, a marvel of adaptability and resilience. One of the most awe-inspiring qualities it possesses is its remarkable elasticity and flexibility. These are not merely physical traits, but rather powerful symbols of an unspoken strength that women carry within them, often unnoticed or underappreciated. The human body is never static. It is constantly in flux, evolving, adjusting, and responding to its environment. And a woman's body is no exception. Each stage of life brings with it different challenges, both physical and emotional. Yet the body adapts, sometimes in ways that we fail to recognize as extraordinary. The ability to carry a child, to nurture, and to create life is nothing short of miraculous. A woman's body has the unique ability to support this profound process of creation, to sustain life within, and to transform in ways that many cannot fully comprehend until they experience it firsthand. This adaptability is not limited to motherhood. It spans the full spectrum of a woman's life, from the early changes that occur in adolescence to the physiological shifts that accompany the aging process. The female body is built to withstand, grow, and adjust. And in each of these stages, it bears witness to the strength of the woman who inhabits it. Hormonal shifts and their impact on the body. As women move through different stages of life, one of the most significant influences on their bodies is the hormonal changes they experience. Hormones play a crucial role in shaping a woman's physique, particularly when it comes to changes in body composition, such as the increase or redistribution of fat. These shifts, often most pronounced during puberty, pregnancy, and menopause, are not only natural, but also reflect the body's remarkable ability to adapt to life's demands. One of the most common areas of focus in this regard is the hips and backside, areas that often attract societal attention. As women age or experience hormonal fluctuations, these areas may change in size or shape. This is not an anomaly or a defect, but a normal part of the human experience. It's essential to note that such changes are not purely aesthetic in nature. They are intricately linked to a woman's overall health and metabolic function. For example, the accumulation of fat in the hips and thighs has been associated with healthier metabolic profiles, and research suggests that this type of fat storage can have protective effects on cardiovascular health. In other words, the body's response to hormonal changes can be deeply beneficial to long-term health. However, this understanding is often overlooked, and the outward appearance of these changes is often reduced to a conversation about beauty standards. Yet, these shifts in the body should not be seen as reflections of a woman's self-worth or femininity. The true value of a woman's body lies not in the physical appearance of her hips or backside, but in the depth of her spirit, the strength she embodies, and the ways in which she carries herself through life's challenges. The journey of self-acceptance. Learning to love our bodies. The journey towards self-acceptance is a deeply personal one, particularly for women who have been taught to scrutinize every aspect of their bodies. Society's expectations can often create an internal struggle, a constant battle between the desire to fit in and the need to love oneself. This dissonance can be overwhelming, especially when societal messages emphasize certain physical attributes as the standard of beauty. However, the true essence of a woman lies far beyond her physical appearance. It resides in how she perceives herself, how she takes care of her body, and how she embodies self-love and acceptance. Embracing self-acceptance is not a matter of simply ignoring societal pressures. Rather, it is about recognizing the inherent beauty and worth within, regardless of how closely a person's body aligns with cultural ideals. One powerful aspect of self-acceptance is learning to honor the body in all its forms and changes. This doesn't mean disregarding health or well-being, but rather understanding that each change, each mark, and each imperfection is a part of the story we carry. It is a testament to the life we've lived, the lessons we've learned, and the growth we've experienced. The body, after all, is not static. It is a living, breathing entity that responds to the world around it. Just as our hearts beat, our lungs breathe, and our minds think, our bodies undergo constant transformation, and this transformation, when viewed with the lens of compassion and appreciation, becomes a source of empowerment. Rather than seeking perfection or striving to meet unrealistic expectations, we can celebrate our bodies for what they are, works of art shaped by experience, time, and growth. Clara's story, a moment of revelation. I want to share a personal story with you, one that has stuck with me for years, a story that I believe encapsulates the profound shift in understanding that many of us undergo when we begin to embrace self-acceptance. It was many years ago when I sat with my dear friend Clara, a woman whose physical presence was as generous as her heart. Clara had always been curious about her body, often wondering aloud about the significance of its shape, particularly her hips, which society seemed to focus on more than anything else. We were sitting together one afternoon, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun. Clara looked thoughtful, almost distant, as if she was wrestling with something deep within, and then, almost hesitantly, she asked me, "Do you think that because I have a big backside, that means something more?" At first, I smiled, her question striking me as both genuine and lighthearted. We laughed together, the sound of her laughter infectious, but there was a quiet sincerity in her voice, a vulnerability that revealed her internal struggle. It was a question that, in its simplicity, carried profound weight. It spoke to the universal experience of questioning one's worth based on physical attributes. I paused for a moment, choosing my words carefully. "Clara," I said, "our hips, our backside, our figure, they're just one small part of who we are. Yes, society may place a lot of emphasis on those parts of us, but they don't define our worth. What matters most is how you see yourself, how you accept and take care of your body. Its value goes far beyond just appearances." Her eyes softened as I spoke, and in that moment, I could see a flicker of understanding in her gaze. I didn't know it at the time, but those words, spoken in the warmth of that moment, would stay with her for years to come. The importance of perspective. Clara's journey is a beautiful reminder of the power of perspective. She had always been a thoughtful, introspective person, someone who sought meaning in everything, even the way her body had changed over time. That simple conversation was a turning point for her, a moment of realization that her self-worth was not tied to the size of her hips or any other physical characteristic. It was tied to how she felt about herself, how she embraced her uniqueness, and how she chose to love and care for her body. Years later, Clara shared with me how that conversation had stayed with her. She told me that it was in that moment that she first felt truly at peace with her body. The burden of comparison and self-doubt began to lift, and in its place, a quiet confidence took root. It wasn't the kind of confidence that shouted from the rooftops, but one that simply knew its own worth. The power of self-compassion and acceptance. What Clara's story teaches us is a lesson in self-compassion and acceptance. It reminds us that our value is not determined by any one aspect of our appearance. Our worth is inherent, a part of who we are from the moment we are born, and it cannot be quantified by the superficial standards of society. The truth is that we are beautiful just as we are, flaws and all. So, I leave you with this invitation. The next time you stand before a mirror, take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is reflected back at you. See not just the body, but the story it tells. The story of your life, your growth, your struggles, and your triumphs. Know that every line, every curve, and every imperfection is a testament to the strength and resilience you carry within you. You are enough. You are beautiful in your essence. Embrace yourself, love yourself, and carry that love with you every day in everything you do. Because, dear friends, you are a masterpiece, unique and irreplaceable in all your glory. As we conclude today's reflection, I invite you to share your thoughts. What resonated most with you? How has your understanding of your own body changed over time? Let's continue this conversation, supporting and uplifting one another as we journey toward greater self-acceptance. Remember, you are beautiful, just as you are.